Hello and welcome to today's show. This is semi-final day here at the Road to Vegas, live from London. I'm joined as per usual with Daniel, DDK Kapadia. How are you doing today, this evening?
Good, I'm ready to go.
Brief and very nice there. So to my right we're going to have Håvard, to my left we're going to have Janko. Håvard, how are you doing today?
Great.
Looking forward to today's matches?
Yeah, should be good, especially the first one.
Okay, and Janko, how are you doing today?
Same, I'm highly anticipating the game between G2 and Dignitas. It's probably the highlight game of this whole qualifier, so excited.
Well, let's have a look at the format and see exactly how things are working here. If this is your first day with us on the Road to Vegas, we can see that there are 8 teams in Europe, or there were 8 teams, only 4 remain now, and in the USA it will be the same. All the matches will be played in a best of 3 format. We can have a look at the bracket for Europe. We can see how these teams have been doing. Again, we did start with 8 teams, only 4 remain, so we can see today we're going to have G2 versus Dignitas in what should be a slobber knocker, and then Vexed versus CSGO Lounge in a bit of a Polish standoff. So Janko, you're looking forward to G2 Dignitas?
Yeah, definitely. I think that whoever wins this semi-final game is going to be the favorite coming into the final for sure.
Okay, so we should be getting the vetoes soon. But we can have a quick look at the schedule as well and see the order of all tonight's matches. We have 2 European matches and 2 North American matches later on. So we can see first we'll have G2 Dignitas, followed by Vexed versus CSGO Lounge. Then over in North America, we'll have Splice versus Enemy, and then Dogmen versus Conquest. So I think we can have a look at today's match now. So who are you fancying, G2 or Dignitas?
Even though G2 didn't play too well versus Arcade when we saw them last time around, I would still pick them as favorites and going into this matchup. But I still think it's going to be a 3-mapper.
That.
Yeah, I think it should be close, but I'm really liking what Dignitas have been doing lately, and I think that they can take this one with the form that they've been showing. Again, that inconsistency from G2 might be a problem, so it's hard to call, like Håvard said, but yeah, I want to go with Dignitas this time.
Janko?
I'm going to agree with Dan. I'm going to say Dignitas as well. G2 looks sketchy yesterday. It could have been partly because they were playing against Arcade. They probably didn't give them enough respect as well. Arcade played pretty well too. So I think it's going to be a closer game today. But I still somehow favor Dignitas. I think they're maybe even more prepared coming into this one.
Okay, I'm wondering if we have the vetoes ready so we can see what maps have been selected here. Actually, they will be coming very shortly. What kind of maps are you expecting Dignitas to want to ban against G2?
Probably Inferno, I would say. I mean, that's the map that GT love to play. Personally, I wouldn't say that Dignitas are particularly stellar on Inferno, so I think that's an obvious choice. Dignitas
are a team with a fairly new roster as well, so is it too early to say what G2 may want to ban against Dignitas, Janko?
Well, probably. I just think that G2 is gonna veto, as per usual. For them, they're not gonna think too much about Dignitas. They're gonna try and veto to their own strengths. So I would guess they're probably gonna veto Cobble, while on the other hand, Dignitas is gonna veto either Inferno or Dust 2 because they don't play Dust 2 as much either. So.
Okay, so we can see the vetoes coming in now. So Dignitas chose to ban Dust 2. Indeed, G2 banned Cobble. So Dignitas picked Overpass as the first map. And we are going to go into the pistol. So, Dan, take it away.
Okay, so the pistol has begun, and already Dignitas are making movement through the connector area, but they're a little bit spread out. It looks like G2 are able to capitalize, actually peeling away some of this offense already, but Config with 2 frags straight away back for his team is going to recontrol the situation as they will finish themselves onto the B-bomb site. This is where now a tumultuous fight is about to begin as Rain and Maikelele try to bust their way in, but getting completely denied so far, not having any luck on these headshots. It's all Dignitas all the way on the first round.
It's going to be quite fun to see whether or not Dignitas have managed to change things up since aizy was there, because Overpass is a map that Dignitas have been wanting to play quite a bit, and they're really good at it. So it's understandable that they want it as much as possible. But, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to actually think that aizy would have a good idea of what Dignitas do on a map like this.
Absolutely, and well, G2 with pistols is also very, very dangerous. Config will take down aizy to begin with, but there are still 4 players left alive, and it's always going to be a bit worrisome when you're up against these pistols. Of course, reverted back to their previous strengths quite recently. And there you go, there's one frag. Fox finding a bit of an opening on Config as he repositioned towards the squeaky door, and now we're into a 4-on-4, and Dignitas, they have a lot of pressure to make a move and actually finish on a bomb site now. They don't want to lose too many more players before they make the move.
G2 starting to push onto B short with the numbers. MSL's only going to get the 1 frag, get taken down by Rain, but Dignitas are here, but the numbers are falling to both sides now. G2 too far away to pick up these SMGs. jkaem will get taken down while going for the reload. Maikelele's got a lot of health and the deagle. Still doing some work here. So it's up 1 versus 1, but the spray will be too much and Dignitas will survive. So for those of you who didn't get the entire pick ban process, the second map will be Cash in this best of 3, and the final map will be Train should it go the distance.
So Dignitas, this is one of the things that I like about them, is their ability to run anti-ecos. Of course, G2 in that previous round just showed that they are very scary, but Dignitas were able to handle the chaos, and now they have a much easier round at foot, but they must make a clean one of it, and we're going to see a fast play with a lot of nades into the B bomb site, not messing around. Just to see the coordination. MSL, the expendable player with that Mag-10, going first for his teammates to gain some ground onto the bomb site, and you can see how perfectly it's going to work out for them. This is one of the reasons why I really like watching Dignitas at the moment.
Yeah, it seems like MSL's teams, just in general, whenever he's had a new team, they've always been pretty good at dealing with the, I guess what you could call the basics. So being able to win the rounds that you should win. They've always been really good at that, and that's a great foundation to build up your team from.
To me, I always felt like it was the first thing as a team. You should be like, okay, let's sort this one out. This should be the guarantee.
Like, this is what's going to get us off to a really good start. So let's just make sure we have the first 3 steps of the game, perfected.
Indeed.
Well, G2 going to start off with a lot of smoke grenades in the bag. We'll see how they can utilize them. RUBINO putting in a nice smoke, which denies one of the nice angles for the CTs, especially when they have an AWP, which G2 don't at the moment. Fast play from Dignitas down long. Should hear some sound cues for Rain, but RUBINO with the 180 going to take Rain down before he can get the spray in. So it's a good start here for Dignitas. G2 running out of nades very quickly, and Dignitas are continuing to charge onto the site. Maikelele is trying to ult ping down from Optimus, but he's going to get traded by Config.
So things looking a little bit stretched here for now for G2. aizy needs to do something big, but there's smoke more or less everywhere, and he's going to jump straight into RUBINO's AK-47 and promptly be eliminated. As we have the 3 versus 2 situation as Dignitas starts to whittle down the defense until there's nothing left but just a nub. It's just Fox now, and he's going to get taken out pretty easily. So Dignitas finishing very, very well in that round. And G2 back to an eco situation.
Dignitas are doing this well, and kind of similar to TSM. They show that they have pretty good executes once they decide on what bomb set to go for. They also, as you can see by RUBINO's smoke over towards that restroom area, they also know how to set themselves up in positions to actually get closer to the bomb sites.
Okay, so G2 with a really bad start here on Overpass. Dignitas looking strong at the moment. Gonna have some money in the bank, and 0-4 on a map where you can often see dominant CT sides. It's gonna give the indication that perhaps G2 will need 3 maps to take this best of 3. So another anti-eco for Dignitas. We'll see if they can demonstrate why they're so good at it, and see if anyone else can learn. No frags for the G2 side just yet. aizy with a P250 and a flashbang. Flash will give his position away, and now we'll have the Triangle of Doom come in, almost taking down MSL or RUBINO. Not sure who's there on the monster tunnel, but there we go. Another clean round for Dignitas. You can see them on 5 to 10k, so even if G2 win a round, the pressure will continue viciously, but you can see G2 there with double AWPs coming out, indicated by Kapadia. So we'll see if one of those heads to the monster tunnel, or how they choose to play them.
I would assume the Fox is going to go play around Monster, and you're going to have Maikelele around that area. We saw in the short time Maikelele played with Nip, he would just constantly roam around that A site.
Wow. Big flick there from Fox. Very nice reaction after he got shot in the side. And that might actually make a big difference here. Losing 1 player is G2 on this defense. Config can't get the bomb planted. Very bold play from aizy.
Down, it's down.
And That's going to mean that now there's a man advantage for GT forward positions as well onto the bomb site. And you can see that it's too much pressure from too many angles. Big play from aizy, and that shot from Fox as well was pretty stellar. We can see there's nothing that MSL can do here. There's 4 players. There is no hope. And it would appear that G2 have won themselves back around, and they did so in an almost flawless manner.
I think MSL should be hunting for frags here, even if he can't get the bomb down, just to try and hurt the C2 economy as much as possible.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I also think, I like the fact that Dignitas pick up the pace, but I think it's a quite big error of them to actually not have any cover for Config as he's putting down the bomb, because that makes them lose all sort of pressure on the bomb site.
On the subject of pressure, you can see Dignitas going straight back for the buy. G2 did survive with a fair amount of players, which will always help. I always think you saw the angle Maikelele was holding. Often you see the T side jumping just on the corner there, but you never see it pre-fired by Overpass at the moment. Edward on Na'Vi is particularly notorious for jumping and peeking that angle, but I'm waiting for that adjustment to come in from Overpass.
Oh, and this push on long. Do Dignitas realize what they actually check? Looks like MSL will find one of the players, but that still, I think we have a jkaem that's a bit unknown, and Kjærbye, well, it looks like he's wise or just very diligent, checking at everything. He will take the frag. So now we've got a 5 versus 3, and G2, they are very screwed here, to be honest. There's so many nades on Dignitas, they can do anything they want at this point.
Yeah. Now, seeing how they're rather spread out, I would like to see them group up and then just execute towards the side, because regardless of what site they go to at this point, it's going to be weakened. And as you said, they do have enough nades to really clear out any sort of wonky position or angle that they need to clear. And looks like they're doing it. So setting up for that A take, it's going to be up to Maikelele all on his own.
So he's got a bit of a warning there, missed the shot, missed the second one as well, and he's going to be forced to take a more passive position. Nades flying in, so good thing he got out of there, but what can the team do? Not going to take down MSL, it does tag him through the wall, but it's 2 versus 4 now. As Fox gets that kill onto MSL, Fox and aizy now all alone, but what are they choosing to do? Seems they're going to go for it. They're only a man down, I say only, but we've got a post-plant position for Dignitas, so any push is going to be hard for the CT side with this crossfire. From the back, Fox will get taken down by Config. aizy trying to trade, but he will be unable to do so. G2 back to losing ways, Dignitas surviving with a few players.
That's the reset as well. Actually, a couple of the players had enough money to actually buy up, so we're going to see force buy coming up from G2, and this is probably going to decide the first half. If G2 can't make anything positive come out of this, then I think Dignitas are just going to run away with it.
And we have a very interesting situation so far developing for Dignitas. The T sides looking very strong overall. And we got stacked with 3 men towards toilet. So this could be the point where G2 either win or lose the rounds, as there's so many players bulked up there. The smoke down as well, as Dignitas just using their resources to slowly but surely take some extra positioning.
Wow.
That is a pretty big result.
It's a good start, and the 2 M4s are still in play for G2 despite losing jkaem. Although the significant advantage is still with Dignitas, and you can see tenzki's in a good position to have an inkling as to what's going on the B bomb site there with that jumping on the other side of the wall. One of the changes with the sound update to the game is landing as well. You hear a lot more impacts when people land, even from normal jumps as opposed to being on higher structures. So that Molotov is going to be going towards the barrel area, unless it's going towards the slope onto the water. Indeed, it is going to be the slope Molotov instead, which allows the players to come into the monster tunnel a little bit easier. 3 versus 3 now, and there's another M4 picked up for G2. Dignitas trying to smoke off the site to get a bomb part. They've got 30 seconds to do so. Trade for both sides now. Kjærbye with only 2 HP, but now it's down to aizy in the water. Has he been detected? tenzki going to the plant, and aizy may have heard that, going for a bit of a spray here. Playing around the sandbags now. Or the mortar, should I say. aizy with 2 HP. Next hit wins, perhaps. I think aizy was trying to run away to get a reload in there, but was unable to do so. Dignitas just about survived. G2, their economy's been broken, and perhaps Dignitas will run away with the half now.
That's a scary situation for G2, and the fact that they haven't really gotten to a point where they can fully defend the bomb site properly. They've more or less been picked off. I think the previous round we saw there was more or less the first time we had a proper defense on versus an execute from Dignitas without them having been picked off, but they didn't have full weaponry. Here we go. Aggression coming out from G2. They're very aggressive play towards the sewer area, and well, even trades so far, but weapon advantage in the favor of Dignitas.
It's pretty cool to see them actually backing away as well, because trying to approach through Monster with no one coming from short is going to be quite difficult, as all the CTs will have their attention on one spot. And they can just go back to the other side. So it is a 3-on-3. And we'll see tenzki just making sure that the flank is actually clear there, just using the time. Also, it's possible that G2 might get curious, and so Dignitas are waiting for that mistake potentially to be, and they can then punish it. And here you go. There comes the punish from the impatience of G2, as they really wanted to see what was going on and grab some weapons. But it's not to be. Good call by Dignitas just to hold their ground.
It's again that structure that MSL brings to a team.
That's that was very good discipline.
Yeah, absolutely. And for G2, not too much going the right way. jkaem only with 1 frag up to this point as well, so he's definitely struggling in this game.
If Dignitas go for the fast short play again on G2's next deco, I hope to see a flashbang through the short tunnel.
Ooh,
So he can run in backwards.
I think RUBINO kind of messed up that smoke.
And that may give Rain an unexpected advantage here, but can he capitalize on it? No, he's going to dink MSL, but MSL will be the one to get the frag. So G2 with 2 players lost straight away. No answer from them either. aizy has been spotted in the short B area. Dignitas with a wealth of information.
Yeah, 2 players. It just gets worse and worse here for G2. It's just Maikelele left now. Against 3 players, you can't like his chances in this one. And it looks like Dignitas have a good hold on the flank, and he's just going to jump straight into it there with his knife out. And that's the frag for Kjærbye. And 9-1 for Dignitas. They look very strong on their T side. G2 yet to really find a good response. And is this the inconsistency we saw yesterday, or are Dignitas just outplaying them?
Probably a bit of both, but I think it's definitely clear to see why Dignitas wanted to go to Overpass. I think it's one of the weaker maps that G2 have, and it's the strongest map that Dignitas have, probably.
MSL's lineups have been fairly good on the T side of Overpass for quite a while. And this is another good performance from them so far. Fox has gone down. This is a bit of a half buy from G2. They've got 1,000 plus in the bank on some of the players. So Rain's going down. tenzki is on 3 HP. jkaem will finish him off. See if he can hold on to this AK, or if he will be hunted by the Dignitas side. Kjærbye's in position, but he's going to go down as well. jkaem has that Kevlar, which will save him from the aim punch he would have otherwise had. That, I think, probably made the difference there. Things looking good for the CTs now, as the bomb has been taken down briefly. Config's going to trade, but Dignitas are yet to breach a site, and their 2 players are not together at the moment. You can see they are going to join forces towards a short position and possibly head towards B. Meanwhile, G2 could possibly pick up a second rifle on the rotation.
Yeah, and this is pretty tough for G2 if aizy can't get a kill immediately. He's going to go for the long-range spray, getting his get right on there, but just in the end of the spray, the second attempt, he'll find a headshot. That's a really big deal. But Config's still quite healthy and these players are weak, and jkaem's stuck on a 5-7. They're both coming from the same angle. I think, yeah, Config spotted it as well, so he knows what's going on. That smoke is going to make things a little bit more difficult, and he's going to predict the situation perfectly, though, as aizy will fall. And that's a 10-1. It was a closer round from G2, and they will get the buy-in. But Dignitas don't look like they're stopping anytime soon.
And a double off coming in from G2 once again. So pretty big investment. We didn't see it come to fruition at all in the previous round. And I think if Dignitas are aware of the fact that there might be a double off coming out, they're going to speed up the tempo.
Config up there with 17 frags so far. Lots of info from Maikelele. See if he's going to try and force some aggression towards short. See the Molotov there. He's trying to make the right decision, but can he get the flank in time? The scope, but not the kill. Goes for the no scope. tenzki will take him down, however. G2 find themselves handicapped again. 2 players down very quickly indeed. Ooh, Fox teased through the corner. Sorry, through the door, but does not engage just yet. Now he'll pick his time. tenzki goes down. 3 versus 3. Fox repositioning, trying to take these players by surprise. I'm not sure if he saw the leg there, as that smoke disappeared.
Yeah, it looks like he may not have done, but the flash should give the game away. He knows there's somebody there, and smoke or another flash brother will go down as the push comes in. They try to get the split going, but this time around G2 looking pretty good. And it was off the back of some of this aggressions, but Kjærbye is still alive. If Kjærbye is alive, there is a chance as he moves forward behind the smoke. He's got the smoke to play with, and he does get a frag out of it. killing 4 players on G2, forcing a big rebuy, but otherwise G2 will finally post another round.
Problem being that Dignitas have no money issues whatsoever as of right now, and G2 is still in danger territory. Could easily be reset, and they're going to have a much worse spy this time around than what they had in the previous round. So holding off Dignitas once more, that's going to be extremely tough. And Dignitas are moving fast towards B.
So aizy going for the pop flash, and it's done well, but can he get the flash? Could get a 2-man spray down. I don't think he's seen the second play behind the smoke. That's very lucky for Dignitas indeed. RUBINO getting legged by the AWP of Fox, it seems. But tenzki will be sacrificed to the gods.
Fox doing what Fox does with the AWP, and this has been a saving grace for G2 so far. Just Kjærbye left again, but this time the odds are much worse. 1 versus 4, and he'll find the kill onto aizy though, so maybe the bomb can be... Maybe there's a possibility for the bomb to be reclaimed at some point, but there's 3 CTs there, throwing all their nades in. Kjærbye doesn't want anything of it just yet. He's going to back away just for the moment. See if anybody's going to be pushing his angle, and indeed that will be the case. And he will swiftly eliminate the assailants in jkaem. 2 more players, but 10 HP. Forward smoke going down for Kjærbye. Trying to get more damage done into G2. And again, they're losing a lot of players. They spent all their money in that last round. And Kjærbye will finally go down.
Rain does pick up that op that Fox dropped. So it's going to be a nice little save. And, well, still 1 more chance for Dignitas to break G2's economy, with Kjærbye doing such a good job of actually picking off weapons after the round is pretty much over and in the favor of G2.
Okay, so we'll see if G2 can give themselves a fighting chance in the second half by taking these final 2 rounds of the first.
Yeah, aggressive play on long again coming up from jkaem and Rain. Last time they got picked off instantly through the rotation from Restroom, but this time Dignitas is just running past.
Indeed, so G2 may be wanting to be a bit more patient, a bit more quiet, but Dignitas not giving them the opportunity by charging towards the A site. 2 frags go the way of G2 though, but now we've got a flank coming in from long. We'll see if it's going to pay off forward side. jkaem coming in there, taking down Kjærbye, aizy taking down RUBINO, and G2 survived with 1 player lost, which will be a plus as we go into the final round of the first half.
That seemed a little bit rushed there from Dignitas. They had a lot of nades they could have thrown in onto the bomb site, but they had 3 or 4 Molotovs, and they could easily have used those, but they seem to just kind of go for it, which is a little bit uncharacteristic, and that's the kind of way that G2 will be able to win rounds if Dignitas want to play without nades like that.
Yeah, they definitely could have used it to clear and actually get on the site earlier, or even zone out jkaem coming back from long, and potentially get into an afterplant situation. We don't want to get into straight up aim duels with the G2 members.
Lots of Molotovs on the G2 side now, so they will be looking to hold on to their map control for as long as possible. I think it's Rain over towards long, just having a peek where there are 3 Dignitas players headed in his direction. He could potentially have a flash coming in from a teammate who's joining him along. The bomb's fallen at the feet of Rain as well. So again, Maikilele's position would be good for a flash, but I don't think he's got any more left. We'll see if his team can support him. That's Rain. jkaem gets taken down in short though. Dignitas not focusing on the bomb just yet, but there is a bit of a challenge coming in. We'll see Config will be lost in the flashbang and Rain will punish him for it.
It's going to be really tough actually for Dignitas to pick up that bomb safely. As soon as, if Rain doesn't want to challenge it, he's going to at least hear it.
Almost getting a 3-man spray down. Kjærbye will be left alone versus 3, so G2 looking good for the last round. Kjærbye will collect the bomb, and he'll be taken down by aizy with 4 kill for Rain. So G2 looks worrying. They had 1 round for a long time, but they've recovered somewhat.
Yeah, absolutely. It did seem like Dignitas started to go away from some of the stuff that actually worked, and G2, one strength that they have is going for lots of little tactical plays between 1 and 2 players. Nothing necessarily like that's great on necessarily a macro scale, and Dignitas started to falter to that. And now it's the pistol round. We do have a lot of movement here from Dignitas, pushing A long, wanting to get fast information, or maybe even a flank, and that looks to be very possible here, as they're all chasing one member. I believe it's MSL, and they're getting shot in the back. Good distraction there run by MSL, but he will fall.
Somewhat of a reverse flank going on as Maikelele is going to make his way down long and take down Kjærbye from the back, so things getting very weird. Meanwhile, the bomb's on the A site, gets planted, and there's another flank coming in. We've got flanks and flanks and aizy will take one down but get traded. Now Maikelele to defend. Not sure if Dignitas know where he is. Well, he must have an inkling. tenzki's going for the defuse here. Can Maikelele find the angle in time? tenzki's going to have to drop the defuse, and Maikelele will take both. G2 back in the game.
It's unfortunate for Dignitas in that situation. Definitely a situation they should be favored to win in, but shots not connecting to Maikelele doesn't really hold him back at all. You can see he's just constantly moving forward in that situation. And there we go. Still, nice aggressive move from Dignitas to get the flank around. Nice move by Maikelele to get the flank on the flank, and all worked out for G2 in the end.
Smokes and HEs, but no mollies for the G2 side as they look to take down this force buy from Dignitas. Lots of CZs in play. Not often you see that many of them. And MSL's going to get off to a good start there, taking down aizy towards the balloon area. And Fox might be in for an unfavourable duel here. Config taking him down. So advantage Dignitas, and the numbers are running out for G2. jkaem falls. Rain's going to try and spray down with the MP7, but I don't know if that chase into short was the best idea, playing to the strengths of these one-shot CZs up in close range.
Yeah, that was a quite good team play there from Dignitas, setting the players up in that central location from multiple angles. And G2 unable to trade properly due to that. Now this 3 versus 2 situation. Lots of pressure on G2 as they move forwards, and Kjaerbye in the back now makes his presence known with the P90. Just Rain on low HP, he's got lots of nades, but I don't think that's going to help him here as in goes Kjaerbye for the finish. And Dignitas is going to get away with a P90 and an AK-47. Okay, they won't get the P90, but the AK is in the hands of Kjaerbye. That's an incredibly big win for them.
Definitely. CZs, after getting that cost reduction to them, being picked up more and more, and you can see the weapon is still the same as it was when everybody was going, well, pretty adamantly out against it, saying that it's a tiny bit too powerful. Still the same weapon, just the draw time and reload time being a bit longer.
Well, G2 have gone for the force buy on the T side. Rain has managed to muster a Galil. The rest of them going to be on the pistols. tenzki is going to get a nice bag onto jkaem. They're trying to find an angle towards the short doors as well, but no connection on this occasion. Rain's advanced though. He's taking down config towards barrels. What kind of rotation will this cause for Dignitas?
Yeah, the health is really, really low actually at this point for all the members of G2, and there's no nades here for Dignitas, but they've got pretty powerful rifles at their disposal to use to finish off G2 as they get closer to the site. But can they find the headshots? It looks like Rain is doing excellent damage there. Another frag found by him. MSL now coming in. Kjaerbye gets tagged down. It's not looking too good for Dignitas after all, but they do manage to finish off an extra player, leaving just Maikelele left with the Deagle. Flash in. It's going to delay him slightly, and MSL will find the kill eventually. So, bit of a scare there for Dignitas against the force buy, and considering G2 did that much damage, got a plant, they might be expecting a force buy now from G2.
I wouldn't be too surprised if that's what we saw. Could there be Tech9s? They might feel like they're too far behind to risk it though. No, never mind. Scratch that. Okay, so we're going to see 3 Galils, a Deagle, and a Tech9. At least they do have some nades to work with this time around as well, so that's going to be good for them. But still a pretty strong buy coming in from Dignitas as well, even though they lost 3 members in that previous round.
Let's see, there's a slow push from G2 toward the party area, past the playground. Just making sure there's no shenanigans going on from Dignitas, although long is still a mystery at this time for the Terror side, who are playing catch-up with half the score of Dignitas. Rain has been taken down toward Monster Tunnel by config, so early advantage for Dignitas here. Just poking and prodding around the short B area, but not really going to take it from the water. See, aizy's been reduced to the Deagle, looking to get some one-shots, but there isn't really much damage, if any, done to Dignitas so far.
And now we have a 3 versus 4. Not a lot of ground game for G2. They're kind of operating as individuals and being taken down by Dignitas alone in their existence. And now it's just Maikelele left alone as well. That really didn't pan out for G2, just losing all their picking attempts.
That should be game. I think the deficit is too big right now, and we're going to have Dignitas 14 rounds before G2 can even make a somewhat decent buy. I think if you get that kind of a cushion, 8 rounds to work with for Dignitas, I think you're bound to pick up 2 rounds eventually.
Well, nice flash coming into the G2 side, but that spray is not going to make much of a connection Only Fox has Kevlar in this round, so we can't expect much from G2, and they are quite spread out, so it doesn't seem that there is a set plan here on this eco round. One by one, they will fall to the guns of Dignitas. aizy maybe soon to follow. Taking down Kjaerbye there, we'll see if he can make it to the rifle. A nice nade from MSL, maybe predicting that a gun grab would be in play. He's made it over there, instantly goes down, however. Maikelele alone, smokes off from the bomb. Shadow will give his position away as well, and he will be finished off by RUBINO with assistance from MSL. So an easy round for Dignitas, two rounds away from game 1.
So this 14-6 scoreline is pretty crazy, considering G2 have a lot of individual skill. They haven't been able to tap into it against the way that Dignitas have approached Overpass so far, which is very encouraging to see from Dignitas' perspective. Now, looking to apply this solid approach to this round. They know there's AKs on the field and there's an aggression towards A-Long, and there you go, 2 frags from RUBINO. Looks like a very positive situation once again for Dignitas early in the round, and the bomb was also spotted. This will delay G2 massively.
Right now, they need to find a pick before they can even attempt to go towards the site. That's not going to happen though. Kjærbye with a perfect move forward as he gets pop flashed forward by his teammate. That leaves jkaem and Fox all by their lonesome. They do have a couple of nades though, so they could set up for, I guess, kind of a desperation plant towards A or B, depending on which side they feel most comfortable. But right now they're pretty split up, and I don't really see the benefit in this.
It seems they are looking for some picks, and they will need them. But they don't have the man advantage. No flashes coming in for the team. jkaem has got a kill onto MSL, but the bomb has been lost. There are 35 seconds. We've still got some work. Oh, he's going to get wrecked. Game point for Dignitas in this best of 3. Again, the second map will be Cash, and the decider, should it be required, will be Train. So, G2 with what could be their last buy of this map. Going to be having 1 Galil, 4 AKs, not many grenades. They've got enough flashes. Could get them around some key corners. But we'll see if they can work together to execute that, or if they will just be going toward a fix once again. That's a good start. aizy taking down Config towards the monster tunnel, which is causing a bit of rotation. Dignitas with still 2 players into B, and MSL moving down along with the AWP.
Ooh, nicely timed flash there from G2. That's going to result in a frag, and perhaps they can prevent themselves from being snuffed out on Overpass for a couple more rounds, in fact, as this one's going quite well. Bomb is in no man's land, but that's okay, because there's only Kjærbye left now to deal with the terrorist aggression. And he might be discovered very shortly, as there is a push here from jkaem. Will Kjærbye be looking the right way, or will jkaem be looking the right way? Looks like they're going to miss each other.
If they're actually going... Okay, yeah. It's just taking a long time before that bomb makes it to the bomb site, and he might get surprised here.
Well, there goes the bomb, and Kjærbye can position himself to get some 1 versus 1, but he's going to get taken down from the back. So, another round to G2, not out of this just yet.
Well, it's going to be a pretty long slog for G2, and they don't really encourage me in the fact that their approaches so far haven't been all that consistent in how they want to pick up rounds. It's just all based on the pick plays, and Dignitas have good setups to deal with that.
And they really do. And speaking of setups, now we see a bit of a different one. RUBINO and Kjærbye boosting up into one of the most popular positions we saw in the old versions of Overpass, when you didn't have to have a man boosting you up to do that. And well, looks like we're seeing boosts all over the place here, and towards B as well.
Well, G2 trying to identify the play of the CTs here. Ooh, Kjærbye's going to take down jkaem there, so not spotting the corner of the head, and that's going to make G2 react immediately, starting to push quickly down long. We've got Rain rotating away from the B bomb site, so it seems they're going to concentrate their efforts towards the upper area.
Yeah, it's going to be G2 having to hit this site hard and fast if they want to surmount the defense of Dignitas that's been set up as they realize what's going on now. And Fox is the first man over by long. He's going to get smoked, and he's got the decision to go through the smoke, but it's such a hard choice to make. He's going to get gunned down, and G2 have lost far too many players. Rain needs to get the clutch happening for his side as he will tap away relentlessly at MSL, and now it's just going to be Config and tenzki, and they are coming in from poorer positions, having to jump up the stairs and go through the choke point of Bank. as the fake plant comes in. Rain trying to bait out these CT players. And it's Maikelele with the spray through the smoke. That's going to make life much easier for G2, and they might just hang on one extra round. We'll have to see if tenzki can make something happen here as he goes for the reposition. And G2 doing the very smart thing with that plant and falling all the way back to toilets. This should be an impossibility for tenzki. He goes there with the flash and trying to bait out any players. It's his first one, and he will fall indeed. So G2 with another round, but is it inevitable that they are to lose this overpass?
It feels like it, and even that round, Dignitas had a pretty big advantage until both RUBINO and I can't remember who it was who was playing by Optimus Prime, but two of the players from Dignitas on that A-bomb site played a tiny bit too aggressively, gave away 2 picks, and all of a sudden they're left in a pretty awkward situation where they're the ones chasing after G2 instead of having it the other way around. But Dignitas, with those CZs, putting in work right now.
Yeah, Joakim getting very close on his own in the short area. With the rest of his team, well, 3 players moving down along towards A quickly. We'll see if they can get there fast enough, but the AK has been lost with no trade. Rain looking to flank any players coming in from short so the rest of the team can concentrate on the front of the site, or the back of the site rather. Molotov going down. And here we go. G2 in a strong position to hold on to this round and survive with a number of players. There is a flank though, I think it's RUBINO. Rain's going to find the flank. And again, the rest of his team will just concentrate on the back of the site there. tenzki going to get a frag, so Rain coming in for support now. Both sides trying to tap. The AK's gone down to 2 versus 2. Very expensive round for G2 so far. Can he even hold on to it? Kjaerbye with the AK will get taken down by aizy. Got himself a few frags in that round too, in fact. G2 close to double figures now.
They're nearing. Now we're gonna have a buy-in on Dignitas though, and well, not that many nades to speak up on Dignitas' side. So out of in terms of Molotovs and HEs, so they're mainly gonna be just holding G2 off for as long as possible. If they can find some picks in the meantime, that's all they can hope for.
The cool thing for me is that early on it was Config who was stepping up with the fragging, but then Kjærbye's taken over massively. He's practically on a 30 bomb at the moment. 29 kills. So it's good when Dignitas have Kjærbye performing. And now it's going to be the case that G2 go for a bit of an aggression up A long. Quite a fast approach from Fox. Perhaps they just want to get the play in straight away. They got a lurker over towards the monster side of the map as well in Rain. So interesting strategy being set up here by G2.
They do have the Molotovs for a potential AA take here, if they want to do that, but it seems like they're rotating over towards B. So we might see the Molotovs over towards the barrels and the B slope here.
Yeah, they've got about 40 seconds on the clock versus superior CT side, I think it's fair to say, on this map. We'll see what they're able to do. Moving into short B now with 3 players. Nice counter flashes coming in from the CTs to slow down the push, but aizy is going to be the first one to get the pick. tenzki to trade. Got a rotation coming in for the CTs, but they're losing players. Team kill though. Maikelele taking down Fox will leave them at a man disadvantage versus Dignitas. Joakim coming in to support his teammate. Rain's planted the bomb and won't be able to eliminate MSL jumping into the water. Focusing on the lower, he'll get taken down from upper Kjaerbye, leaving Joakim alone, getting tagged through the mortar. Finished off as well, meaning Dignitas are going to take the first map 16-9 over G2.
And one thing actually there is Joakim really had an awful game actually.
Yeah.
A really awful game. He didn't show up at all.
I think he ended up with something like 4-19 or 4-20 for a Twitch chat. But no, but just overall he had a really, really poor game, and we talked about it yesterday. G2 have struggles overcoming teams they have been able to overcome in the past when they have individual players who are not really showing up, because they rely so heavily on that, and they don't have that backbone to fall to play off of when they're not hitting their shots and doing what they usually do. I wouldn't be surprised if Joakim makes it back though for the next round.
Well, at this point we'll bring in Janko. What happened to G2 on the first half?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that G2 isn't comfortable on Overpass, and that, in my opinion, Dignitas just outplayed them completely. You could see so clearly the difference between two teams on their T side. Dignitas, on one hand, they won pistol, which was of course very important, but in all of their gun rounds, they had a clear plan what they wanted to do. They would go as a unit. They would try to take control either of toilets early on and stairs, or they would go towards B pretty fast. They would even flash themselves through smokes. They didn't care. They just decided, okay, guys, let's take control of toilets really fast, no matter how, you know, nades, smokes, whatever. And they were a bit lucky the first time they went for that toilet take. The G2 guys pushed long, so they missed each other. Dignitas got all the entry kills as well in the beginning. The first round G2 won. Dignitas won the following round pretty convincingly, and it was just a dominating performance from Dignitas all around. On the other hand, when G2 switched to the T side, you could see them, as you guys pointed out, they were going for that picky style. They were spread out, trying to get those entry frags, which, of course, I mean, if you get the kills, then it can work. But if the CT side is, you know, having setups, they're not playing one guy at each position. They decide to maybe let go of A-Lon and focus on toilets. Then that picky style will more often than not just crumble, because you will, you know, be at a disadvantage. You won't have the opportunity to get that aim duel. You will run into 2 players or even more. So in the end, for me, pretty convincing win for Dignitas.
So what are our expectations on Cash, Dan?
Well, yesterday, we can't forget yesterday, it was a very shaky performance for G2 on Cash. Cash typically one of their go-tos, and it was against a essentially an unknown Russian team as far as the Tier 1 and Tier 2 European scene is concerned. And sure, they played very well, but it was a story of G2 not finding their consistency. And so I fear that for G2 that we're going to see a similar result, and Dignitas, their consistency, their overall approach is just going to be too strong for them to overcome. I'm expecting a 2-0 here for Dignitas.
Okay, well, we'll get the answers from the other analysts after the break. We're going to allow the admins and players to set up for Cash, and then when we return, it will be map 2 of this best of 3. See you soon.